Welcome to the ICC Champions Trophy Daily programme here on YouTube. I'm your host Matt Rumsey and I'll be bringing you all the match highlights, the best of the behind the scenes action, comment, insights, fan fun and comedy moments. Stuff you just won't see anywhere else but here on the ICC channel. Subscribe to the channel, click here, like ICC on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Tweet your friends where to see the access all areas behind the scenes extravaganza coming up in this programme. We take a ride on the Pakistan fan bus in Birmingham, talk exclusively to players as the tournament gets underway. We have a nose around the dressing rooms and find out who's the West Indian team prankster. All that and much more in the first edition of Champions Trophy Daily. So let's get started with a little who, what, where, how and when on the tournament itself. The top 8 Reliance ranked ICC one-day international teams compete at 3 venues across England and Wales. We'll take a look at the stadiums in just a minute. But first the teams. Group A, Australia, England, New Zealand and Sri Lanka. Group B, India, Pakistan, South Africa and the West Indies. The number 1 ranked ICC one-day international team is India, above the current ICC Champions Trophy title holders, Australia. If the Australians managed to add this tournament to the ones they won back in 2006 and 2009, that would be 3 consecutive Champions Trophy tournaments. A hat-trick, surely that is beyond them. The Australians arrived here off the back of a disappointing tour of India, so it won't be easy. The talented Mr. George Bailey has been made the new vice-captain. Check out George Bailey, there's nothing he can't do, according to the Australian cricket selectors. 30-year-old Bailey has been named Michael Clarke's vice-captain for the Champions Trophy. The Tasmanian top-order batsman has experience of England, but not all of it good.
We had a really disappointing tour over here last year where England absolutely hammered us. So if we took anything out of that was the fact that we did get to spend a little bit of time in the conditions, and the conditions certainly were challenging last year. So
taking roles of responsibility requires communication skills in the dressing room, on the field of play and of course in front of the cameras. Bailey thinks media work on all platforms is important for players and the game, but he draws the line at tweeting.
You know, the only reason we get to do what we do and be as well paid as we are is because we have so many fans and people come in to watch the game and so many people interested in what we do. So it's a very important part of being a modern cricketer, and I certainly think for this generation the whole new concept of social media and tweeting or twitting or whatever those people do and Facebook and all those things, I mean it's ongoing, and that I guess certainly for the younger players that's continuing to be a learning curve, but this is the first generation that's ever had to learn that.
Good fact for your friends, it's not Bailey's first honour. He was named captain of Australia's 2020 team last season, having never played for his country in any format of cricket. That hadn't happened since Dave Gregory was made captain of Australia back in 1877. So, as promised, let's take a look at the 3 venues. Say what you see. We're at the Oval. The Oval hosted the first ever cricket match to be played in England back in 1880. The legend of the Ashes was born here when England lost to Australia in 1882. It's the headquarters of Surrey County Cricket Club, and believe it or not, they even staged an FA Cup final football match here once. Venue number 2 in the city of Birmingham, Edgbaston, the home of Warwickshire County Cricket Club, the scene of Brian Lara's record-breaking 501 not out, the highest first-class score. Let's have a sneaky peek into the home dressing room. It's quite big, hot and cold baths, and even an ice bath. That doesn't sound fun. The players have a fully kitted out gymnasium next to the dressing room. Here's the view from the stands. Nothing wrong with Edgbaston that a little sunshine couldn't solve. Finally, Cardiff Wales Stadium is venue number 3, the home of Glamorgan County Cricket Club. The ground hosted its first test match in just 2009, but there's a great history of cricket here, and the ICC Champions Trophy tournament is now adding to it. Let's take a closer look at some of the teams. Replaced by Dwayne Bravo as captain of the West Indies one-day international team, you might think Darren Sammy is feeling a little unloved as the tournament gets underway. Not a bit of it. The West Indies team, he says, is like family. We caught up with Sammy playing football.
You on tour most of the times, and your teammates become your family, you know, and that's the type of attitude we incorporate into our setup. So it's everybody look out for each other and enjoy the time whilst you're away, because you're away from your families and stuff.
According to Sammy, the Bravo brothers, new one-day international captain Dwayne and younger brother Darren, are the entertainers of the team.
I know for sure Bravo will always be the entertainer. Chris is quite funny as well, but all the guys get along fine, you know. Young Bravo Beetle will always look for a joke. This guy goes on the internet looking for jokes and pranks and try to play it on people.
Sammy says one-day international cricket is an area where the West Indies have not done as well as they should have done with the calibre of players they have in the dressing room. That said, no one's getting too stressed over it.
I think for us West Indians, most of the times, anything it comes natural to us. You know, people love saying that we live back, but I think the attitude and the culture we have, it suits us. You know, everything is cool and easy, and when it's time to go out and play, yes, everybody will have nerves, but I think our natural calmness, you know, helps us to prepare well for the matches.
New Zealand, of course, beat England in their recent one-day international series. Both teams are in Group A for this competition. Remember, New Zealand won the Champions Trophy back in the year 2000. England, well, they'll just be looking to raise their one-day game. Ranked third, they must also play Sri Lanka. We cornered the Sri Lankan wicketkeeper Kumar Sangakkara for 60 seconds of personal insight.
It is. It's actually not about catching the ball. It's really about your body movements and getting your feet moving and your body in the right position and your head right over the ball. The moment you do that, your hands follow. I think sometimes we make the mistake of especially when you're young, really concentrating just on your hands and having quick hands and and diving a lot and looking really good while you take a catch and all of that. But that you soon realize that that's not what wicketkeeping is about. It's about really strong legs, really good powerful body position, really getting your body and head into a position which allows your hands to really be comfortable catching the ball. It's not just about focus, but it's about not focusing at the right times as well, allowing your mind to rest and relax in between deliveries and really being fresh for each ball. So everyone finds their own rhythm, their own patterns, whether you're a bowler, a batsman, or a wicket-keeper, you're trying to find the things that work well for you, and then you try and repeat them every day. So that's about as simple as it gets.
Down at just 6th in the Reliance ICC International One-Day Rankings, Pakistan has employed the services of a batting coach. Little-known Australian Trent Woodhill has been brought in to shore up the batting. Former Pakistan players have criticised the decision because Woodhill never played first-class cricket himself. We caught up with Trent in the nets.
Well, in a short period of time, especially in tournament play, it's not so much about trying to identify weaknesses. It's trying to give confidence to their strengths. So it's identifying their strengths really and making sure that they're practicing those, and in a match they're confident to execute. They've grooved areas where they feel they need to be able to do on wickets in the UK. So obviously the ball moves a little bit more over here than it does in Pakistan. So they want to make sure that they're playing later. And when they're playing a little bit later in their games, their confidence rises, and so that's what I'm hoping to see during the tournament. So if I can add 10% or 5% to their game, it's probably more realistic in the space of 3 weeks, then because they are good players already, then that may be the difference in the tournament.
The last question to Trent during this close to the media practice session was the hardest of all. Is Pakistan's batting lineup confident enough right now to win the Champions Trophy?
It's a good question. So maybe that's one you can answer yourself in 3 weeks.
Throughout the tournament, we'll be seeking out the most fanatical of cricket fans following their teams around England and Wales. Let's start with the Pakistan team. They already have a fan bus following them around. They waited for hours and they came on a bus. After a hard practice session, it was difficult for the Pakistan players to head quickly for the relaxation of their hotel. Fans need their pictures taken and autographs signed, particularly those who have dressed for the occasion or risked divorce by coming from America.
I coming from America, $3,000 and a big fight with wife, you know. Why you are going, big problem, but I don't care. I come, again I go, and again friendship, again coming. My wife from India. If Pakistan win, I'm happy. If India win, my wife happy. So both sides, you know, I'm happy.
Despite the rain at Edgbaston, the Pakistan fan bus toured the streets of Birmingham with a message of good cricketing will.
This is something we've organised for all the Pakistani fans who support the Pakistani cricket team, and this is just to drum up some support before the game, and we're giving Pakistan a warm welcome to Birmingham. And I remember the last time they were here in 2010, all I can see was a sea of green in the stadium, and that's going to be repeated again.
It's a mouth-watering prospect, India versus Pakistan at Edgbaston on the 15th of June. Match day 10, it's a sellout. The rivalry between the two teams is legendary, although India's Dinesh Karthik is playing the encounter down in the hope of keeping fans level-headed.
I mean, I'm sure we'll take it as another match. It's important. We have to see how we go in the first two games. Depending on that Pakistan game, we'll know how it's going to pan out for us. But as I said, the Pakistan game is no different from the South African game. It's just if you treat it as another normal game and try and go and do your best, then I'm sure we can do well. Definitely. I mean, this is a tournament where there's just 8 teams, and you know, if you're in one half where you play the top 3 teams, so you know, if you're a good team, you need to come into the semi-finals and then take it forward from there. And knowing our team, we're capable of definitely delivering goods, and I'm sure that we can do if you play to a potential, we can definitely go a distance in this tournament.
That's it for this edition of Champions Trophy Daily. Subscribe to the channel because this is where you will see all the match highlights and the best of the behind-the-scenes action. Like ICC on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Don't miss a wicket.